Okay, so my question is, my book is called Tips, Tales, and Truths for Teens. It's all about the college admission process. So share with our listeners, what is your best tip or truth in this process so that everyone really understands and you can help to demystify this process for everybody.
For sure. I think people don't know that there are over 4,000 colleges just in the United States, and not including, abroad, and students in the U.S. certainly go to college abroad as well. Most colleges admit more than 60% of the students that apply. And there are going to be a lot of colleges that you've never heard of. And that's okay. And it doesn't mean that they're not awesome. And, Lawrence University, when I first visited, was certainly not a school I knew a ton about. And it's an amazing, amazing place. And I love it so much. And I wouldn't have had that experience if I hadn't visited. And so just knowing that there are hidden gems out there, there's a lot of them actually. And just keeping an open mind to them will definitely benefit you in the long run.
Absolutely. Yes, and to stick on this point for a second, I was listening, I interviewed Ken Enselman, also from Lawrence University, the VP there, a while back. And so I was re-listening to prepare for this interview, I was re-listening to him. And I asked him, and I'm gonna ask you the same question. What kind of student who's listening right now that's never heard of Lawrence, what should they know? Who would be attracted to Lawrence? What, can you describe who that might be? And it could be a wide variety, but maybe just pick a few things that students wouldn't otherwise think of.
For sure. So we are first and foremost part of the Colleges That Change Lives Consortium. So we are in Loren Pope's book. If you've read it, you can get to know us there. We are a fully undergraduate institution, but we do have a conservatory of music on campus, and about a quarter of our students are majoring within the conservatory. So the music is a big part of our life, and we do have a 5-year double degree program. So for students who want to earn both a Bachelor of Music and a Bachelor of Arts in 5 years, you can certainly do that on campus. It is required to live on campus for all 4 years. Our student to faculty to student ratio is 8-1, which is one of the smallest in the country. I will say that no one gets to Lawrence on accident. We are in Appleton, Wisconsin. We are in Northwest Wisconsin, and people really want to be here, whether they're regional or on campus. They really want to be at the institution. And all of our students are passionate about something. It could be climate change, it could be football, it could be baking cookies, it could be cello, it could be anything, but our students are definitely passionate about something.
One of my favorite things is the conservatory, and actually since talking with Ken, I've recommended Lawrence to some other students that I work with either privately or through the SE Camp program. But I love the 5-year you can get a bachelor's in music and a bachelor's of arts. And also, did you guys catch what she said? About a quarter, if I heard you right, about 25% are doing like a double major. Is that the best way to say it?
So a quarter of our students are majoring within the conservatory in some way. Okay. About half of those students are pursuing the double degree program. Okay. So it is a large amount of those students. And then we have a lot of students who will either minor in the conservatory, or just any student can audition for an ensemble or be engaged in the con. So it's really, it's not a harsh, this is the conservatory and this is not the conservatory. We really want overlap.
Yeah, no, I love it. My roommate in college was an oboe player, and and the oboe was an instrument. Of course, I had never been introduced to it. I had no idea what that was. So super cool. Okay, so you've been working in this industry now for some time, for several years, and on both sides of the desks, as we say, the shipping and the receiving ends. And so share with our listeners one tale or a couple of students who stick in your mind, and why do they stick in your mind? And this one name that I know you're going to share, maybe share her second and start with the football player.
For sure. So I am working with a student this year who is really incredible. I will call him Ryan. And he is applying to Lawrence and he's being recruited for our football team. And he is a pretty high need student. And so we this year were able to offer to meet full demonstrated need for students who applied early decision to Lawrence. And so when I was working with this student and this family, we interviewed him, the coach met with him, we were engaged with him, and he is a perfect fit for our community. He is open minded, he is outgoing, he loves football, he's maxed out the rigor at his high school, takes classes at the community college, he takes care of his brother with special needs. He's close with his family. He has great, strong values. He is awesome, just awesome. And so we wanted, what's the best way we can help this student get to our campus? And so talking with his mom and him many, many, many times throughout the process, we did actually get him to apply early decision so we could give him the best financial aid award possible. And he is planning to attend Lawrence in the fall. And I am so excited and I can't wait to see how he really blossoms on campus. I'm really excited.
Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. Congratulations. That's a great story. That's a great story. I'm so glad he's coming. Oh, so good. And okay, so that's a tale for you being on the receiving end. And I know that you have a tale or student that just stands out from when you were on the shipping end. So go ahead and share that story. And in a minute, everyone's going to know who you're talking about. So go ahead.
For sure. So when I was at New Roads High School, I had the pleasure of being Amanda Gorman's high school counselor. And so, seeing her today is so amazing and incredible. And, she is just who she's always been, which is awesome. And so working with her was really fun. Her group of friends, there were about 5 of them, and they were all really incredible. Yeah, it's awesome to see her doing great things in high school. She, always wore a yellow headband, so she's been rocking the yellow for a long time. And it's really cool to see her blossoming now and being so successful.
So if you're listening or you're watching this podcast right now and you're Googling Amanda Gorman because you don't know who she is, Briana, go ahead and share why everybody figured out who she was on January 21st, 2021.
Yeah, so she was the poet at the presidential inauguration for Joe Biden, which was really awesome. But her poetry career started a long, long time ago, and she was the first youth poet laureate of Los Angeles. And so that was awarded to her when she was in high school, and she has been really involved in writing and poetry ever since.
Right. And so the point really here is not that she's, famous or a little mini celebrity now, but the point that I want you all to hear is that Briana just said Amanda Gorman or someone like that who gets to this to a place, and she went to Harvard, and I'm not sure if we said that, but she went to Harvard and then was the poet at the inauguration. That doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen by accident. It happens because she's been working on her poetry and writing for years and years and years. That would be the same for someone who is training to be an Olympian or someone who's, training, whatever your thing is. And so Briana is just reinforcing the fact that when you knew her as a teenager, she was in, I'm not sure if New Roads is just high school or is it K to 12? I'm not sure.
It's K to 12, and she was, I believe she was in the first class of students who could go K through 12.
Oh, okay. Okay. So probably she was, had always been writing or good with words or reading or whatever, learning more and more words that rhyme. I actually read something or heard maybe a podcast about Eminem, the artist, songwriter, would study the dictionary, looking up words and finding new words to rhyme and stuff. So there you go, everyone. You want to be the next Amanda Gorman, start writing right now.